Live from the tank on the campus of the College of Staten Island, CSI Sportsnet is proud to welcome you into coverage of College of Staten Island men's basketball. Tonight, it's the CSI Dolphins home opener as they take on the Bears of New York Tech, a future ECC opponent from here on in. Good evening, everybody. I'm David Pizzuto alongside Mike Babuski. And Mike, we have about a 7-8 minute window here in pregame to analyze what's coming up between the Bears and the Dolphins. The CSI looking for their first win after an 0-3 start. The Bears coming in at 0-5 looking for their first victory as well.
Yeah, it's been an interesting start, Dave, to this 2019-20 season for the Dolphins. First, they kick it off with a scrimmage on the road against Division I Fordham, and then head down to Florida for a couple of games, starting out with the number 2 team in the country, Nova Southeastern, and then playing Barry before going up to southern New Hampshire. So Dolphins looking to find themselves. They fell short in all 3 of those games. And, it's going to be a very interesting 2019-2020 season for this team. Dave, you look out on the floor and you see a lot of talent out there for the Dolphins. And then you look across the floor and you see about twice the number of players and players that are good 4 or 5 inches bigger than the Dolphins. So you see where the Dolphins are coming in and where they're looking to go.
Yeah, welcome to Division II basketball, front and center right here on CSI Sportsnet. The Dolphins get their season started here on the road, as Mike mentioned, after a tough trio of games against very good competition. And Mike, for those people who are very familiar with CSI basketball, they know right away the Dolphins short on numbers, but they're short 2 of their better players from last year. Last year's scoring champion for the Dolphins, Christian Taylor, out on a medical redshirt this season, and the Dolphins opting to redshirt Jamal Martin, who would have been a sophomore down low in the front court. So the Dolphins without 2 of their perennial powers offensively, and so they're looking to see who kind of steps up after Adeola Latunji in scoring.
Yeah, and that certainly makes a huge difference to this team. Not having Christian or Shamal on the roster this year, will certainly hurt the Dolphins and certainly hurt them in their depth department. But, Dave, you look down this roster for the CSI Dolphin team, and I know head coach TJ Tibbs expects a lot out of these players. We've seen Austin Mick in the game last year be able to put up 29 points and really just shoot very well from the outside. Andrew Cartalis, in addition to being a very strong defender, also has shown the ability to put the ball in the basket. Rigo Destime, as the season went on last year, Dave, he continued to play better and better, especially on the offensive end, playing with a lot more confidence. And Joseph Ziris, who returned to the team after a couple of years' absence, is another player that the Dolphins are looking for big things from. And I could, go down the rest of the roster and really say the same thing. So, an absence of a couple of players is an opportunity for a couple of other players.
Absolutely. We've seen flashes from all of those gentlemen that you mentioned, Mike. Who can do it consistently will be the key for this Dolphins team, especially here in 1920, setting the pace for the future. The one player, Mike, who is delivering, as we expected him to, is Adeola Latunji. He's coming off a 28-point performance against Southern New Hampshire on Sunday. He's worked that average up to 18.3 after the first 3 games of the season. He's 8 points away from 1,000, and that's a big milestone coming from a guy who only joined the Dolphins as a sophomore a couple of years ago. So Adeola hopes to break the 1,000-point threshold. He'll be the 33rd CSI player to do so. We fully expect him to do it tonight, the way he's been averaging. But, Mike, he's shooting over 50% for the season, where the Dolphins as a team have really struggled, only shooting 34%. So he's really carrying the load.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it, Dave. In that game against Southern New Hampshire that you mentioned, 12 of 18 from the floor, in addition to 10 rebounds, and in 36 minutes of action. So he's played very well, and, we've seen that from him. And, when he has that mid-range jumper going, Dave, he's really tough to defend because he certainly has the ability to take it to the basket with a lot of authority. And, what the Dolphins are going to look for are complementary players to help assist Adeola on the offensive end here this year. You mentioned, Dave, that he's shooting over 50%. I think the number for the rest of the team is somewhere around 25% or so. So, the Dolphins are going to need better production out of some of their other players. And the other thing that, they're going to have to do, and it's a tough challenge, Dave, is, how are you going to play when you're really being outsized on almost every position on the floor, because the first thing you have to do, and we talk about it in all of our broadcasts, is you have to be able to rebound the basketball defensively. So that's going to be the first step for the Dolphins here tonight. Defend the basketball and try to limit New York Tech to one shot.
All right, and as for New York Tech, Mike, we have a few minutes. You can see it on your screen left here in pregame. Let's talk a little bit about the Dolphins' opponents tonight, the Bears of NYIT. They're coming off of a 3-win season last year, and they're off to an 0-5 start to the 2019-2020 season. So they certainly want this to be their get-right game as well, Mike. And they're doing a good job offensively. They have 4 players averaging in double figures and a few others that are close behind. They spread the offense around. Their problem has been they've been giving up a lot of points over these first 5 games of the season, close to 90 per game. They, too, have played some tough opponents, Mike, but this is a chance for them to show off their offensive ability against a smaller Dolphins team. That's where they're going to look to exercise their will.
Yeah, and Dave, we're talking about a team that's coming off a game against Hofstra University, certainly an extremely tough opponent, in a game that they dropped 111-69, and also playing Adelphi and losing that game by 10. As you mentioned, Dave, those are really quality opponents, and one of the first things we like to do when we come to the gym is look out on the floor and look at the players and look at the roster, and a lot of size for this New York Tech team, Dave, and it's going to be very interesting to see how the Dolphins are going to be able to defend it. And you mentioned 4 players averaging double digits despite the team coming in with a record of 0-5, and this is also a team, Dave, that is shoots well from the free throw line, averaging 71% from the line, and has been able to rebound the ball pretty effectively, getting out rebounded by 6 a game against some very good opponents. So it's going to be very interesting to see how the Dolphins can come out and defend against them here tonight.
Couple of players to keep your eyes on before we cut to commercial break. Number 23, Jeffrey Hayden, is leading the Bears at 19 points per game. Overwhelming lead there. Brandon Redendo averaging 10.8. Marcus St. Furcy in 2 less games is averaging 10.7. And Colin Zonike averaging 10.3. Interesting that Hayden and Redendo have 15 three-pointers. St. Furcy with another 6 as well, so they could shoot the ball from downtown. Mike, we got some precious seconds left here in the pregame. Let's cut to a commercial break while we step out and have our nation's anthem. When we come back, we'll have starting lineups and tip-off right here live from the tank at the College of Staten Island. It's the Dolphins home opener against the New York Tech Bears. It's coming up after this. Stay with us.
Hobra, a taco joint, Staten Island, where we're proud to have shared our family-first spirit with people from throughout New York City and the world. With indoor dining available both at the bar and on the floor. Or step outside for additional seating and an outdoor bar. Serving beer that's crisp, ice cold, and worthy of a day at the beach. Cocktails that explode with flavor. And great food made with the freshest and healthiest ingredients available. Events feature food and drink specials, live music, and the best of Staten Island nightlife. Your CSI Student ID saves you 10% on your dine-in order at Hobra. Visit us at 412 Forest Avenue, Staten Island.
When your car is damaged, where you take it is your decision. But insurance companies would like you to think otherwise. While they may have a lot of pull, it may not always be in the best interest of your car. Your car will be fixed right and on time. What insurance company can argue with that?
Call Dependable Auto Body at 718-447-4898.
The Kettle Black on Staten Island, a top 5 wing joint in America by Food and Wine magazine. Serving daily lunch and dinner at the bar or on the floor. Perfect for family and group parties with top shelf drink and delicious food. From great times with good friends, live sports and watch parties, to Staten Island's hottest nightlife. The Kettle Black features live music and DJs weekly. The Kettle Black features daily and nightly food and drink specials. The best Staten Island has to offer is at the Kettle Black. We'll see you there at the Kettle Black, located on 415 Forest Avenue, Staten Island. Be sure to check out the Kettle Black's monthly calendar of events, only at kettleblackbar.com.
Welcome back here to the tank at the campus of the College of Staten Island. We are ready to almost tip this one off, but not before tonight's starting lineups. And for those, we'll throw it down to Mike Babusky. Mike?
Thanks a lot, Dave. First for the visiting New York Tech Bears, it'll be number 2, Tim Dawson, a 6-foot freshman guard. Number 4, Marcus St. Furcy. Number 12, Lorenus Stankis. Number 23, leading scorer Jeffrey Hayden. And number 24, Collins Onike. For the College of Staten Island, it'll be number 2, Adiola Latunji. Number 3, Rigo Desteam. Number 5, Austin Mick. Number 12, Andrew Cartalis. And number 24, Joseph Ziris, of course, the College of Staten Island, coached by second-year head coach T.J. Tibbs.
Yeah, Mike, and we mentioned the absence of Christian Taylor and Shamal Martin in the open. Also, the Dolphins absent of Christian Kopech, who suffered an injury in the second game of the Florida trip against Barry University. So he's the notable starter who's not in the lineup for the Dolphins tonight. So a little bit more shorthanded are the Dolphins coming into this one. So the Dolphins come in a record of 0-3 overall. New York Tech 0-5. Tech did win their final game of the 18-19 season, so their losing streak does not date back to a year ago. Of course, the Dolphins losing in their final game of 18-19. That was the CUNY championship game. And Mike, they started 0-4 last year as well before they got right. Ended up 17-10 within the CUNY. And with the CUNY schedule approaching, kind of figure the Dolphins will be okay. But these litmus test type games for them, especially against a team like NYIT that will be joining them, obviously, in the East Coast Conference next year, will tell a lot to this team.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it, Dave. The Dolphins will have 16 games against CUNYAC opponents here this year. So, these other games against Division II opponents, especially like you mentioned, Dave, opponents that are within division are going to be a big test for the Dolphins. And again, for the Dolphins, an opportunity to really see where they stack up and the things that they need to do to get better and compete in this Division II conference.
So Onike will be jumping it up with Ziris, and Onike is the one to win it. Clock needs to start. And clock started just a little bit late. So we're off to a little bit of a hesitant start here. But they've knocked down the clock to 19:56, and here we go, underway. New York Tech working it in quickly and inside, but the errant pass that time by Hayden. He was looking in the direction of Onike, couldn't find him.
Yeah, and Dave, a good start defensively now for the Dolphins as they'll have their first offensive opportunity.
And if one thing that both teams are going to work on tonight, Mike, is cutting down the turnovers. Both teams averaging plenty here to start 19-20. Mick controls, bounce pass to Ziris, top of the arc. Ziris turns, driving left, inside against Hayden, no good. And rebound skips off the hands of Latunji out of bounds. So.
Yeah. Sorry, David. Nice offensive sequence that time by the Dolphins, Dave. They got the ball, got a good look at the basket, just couldn't get it to fall.
Well, we start again, and the Dolphins employing a little bit of a lazy press here. Now they turn up the heat. NYIT swinging it around quickly. This is Onike for three. No good. Short balled it, and Ziris comes up with the rebound. Austin Mick will control, and we expect him to do that a majority of the time tonight, along with Rigo Desteam. They hand the ball off. It ends up back to Mick. Mick was fronted by St. Furcy. Now Latunji with 10 on the shot clock. Making a move, driving left, kicks it out to Ziris. Ziris driving, bounce pass, and off the fingertips and leg of Latunji. So the Dolphins with a turnover here. Both teams with 1 in that department.
Yeah, so, Dave, you mentioned turnovers before for the Dolphins. Dolphins averaging just over 20 a game so far here in 2019.
NYT once again working it quickly. Bottled up was Mick, and now he might have a jump ball first. Thought Mick might have got in there a little bit late, but in any event, it'll be Dolphins ball. Another turnover for NYIT as Stankis lost control. And now it'll be Destine racing down the sideline, being fronted by Stankis. Stankis not giving him much room. And it's Destine going all the way to the hole off the glass and end.
Yeah, the Destine explosive on that basket to give the Dolphins a 2-0 lead.
Pressure here now being employed. Turned over quickly. This is Mick. Inside give to Destine. And it's off the foot of St. Fursey out of bounds.
Yeah, Dolphins continuing to play very well defensively, getting the turnover. Now an opportunity to score off that turnover.
Dolphins were the victim of some heavy pressing in each of their first 3 games. And Isla Latunji on the inside, missed the first one, got it back, goes up again, no good. And the rebound by Dawson. Here comes Dawson now, 3/4 speed over the timeline. The big handoff inside. Now the kick out towards the arc for Stankis. They work it around. Coming down with it was Dawson at first. Now St. Fursey back to Dawson. Dawson back to St. Fursey. Fakes the pass. Travel is whistled on St. Fursey. That's the 3rd turnover for NYIT.
Yeah, Dolphins have a lot to do with those 3 turnovers, Dave. Really playing good swarming defense so far here in the first half.
And so Destine again. 2 in the back court, 2 in the front court. It'll be up to Mick to get it over the timeline. Gets it over. St. Fursey guarding his right side. Latunji back to Mick. Mick tries to drive, kicks it out, corner. 3 for Destine, it's good.
Beautiful look that time by Mick, driving it in, drawing the defense and kicking it out for the open 3.
Dolphins with their biggest lead of the 2019-20 season. It's 5-0 early. Skipping inside, and now a turnaround layup blocked by Ziris, and the Dolphins get it. Jeffrey Hayden tried to drive inside. He was a little off balance with the shot.
Great defense that time by Ziris against a player averaging over 23 points a game for the Bears.
Cartalis the handoff to Destine, who hands it back off to Mick. 15 on the shot clock. Mick off screen, now gets it over to Latunji. Latunji facing, free throw jumper, no good, off the side iron, and into the hands of St. Fursey. St. Fursey now quickly over the timeline, driving inside, off the window, no good. Offensive foul called against St. Fursey. Another turnover for NYIT.
Yeah, Ziris directly related to those last 2 turnovers there, Dave. That time drawing the offensive foul, and just want to correct Hayden's numbers, averaging 19 a game so far in 2019-20, but the Dolphins forcing a quick Bear timeout.
So a timeout, and that 30 will become a full timeout because of the media, so we will step aside. Well, actually, no, they're standing up. So this will be a 30-second timeout. We'll keep it right here.
Yeah, Dave, you got to be really impressed with the way the Dolphins have come out here tonight, and playing an opponent that a little bit more not toward the top of the Division II table, and the Dolphins coming out playing very strong defensively and also looking pretty good offensively. They've gotten good looks at the basket. They're only shooting 2 of 6 from the field so far, but doing a nice job, I think, running the offense and getting good looks at the basket, Dave.
Yeah, well said, Mike. As 30-second reprieve here. We do have media timeouts tonight, Mike. What our staff is really there's music playing while I think the staff at the table was expecting a full timeout because of the 30s turning into a full. But I guess it'll take some getting used to here, media timeout rules. In any event, Mick skip pass to Ziris. Ziris gives it over to Mick. Mick decides to drive, hands off to Latunji. Latunji step back 3, that's good!
Boy, he's got such great ability, Dave. Dolphins off to a great start. Latunji with his first basket.
And Latunji now at 995 career points. Hayden skipping it over to Dawson. Dawson right in front of the CSI sidelines to Onike. St. Fursey Back to Onike. Looking inside and interrupting it was Destine, but the give inside. Another block for Ziris, but on the line were the Dolphins. It was out of bounds.
But another great defensive play that time by Ziris as he is able to get the ball and block that shot.
They missed the media timeout up top. And a shot clock violation.
Yeah, so Hayden missing that shot, and the Dolphins with possession, Dave. So 8-0 lead, and the Bears have been shut out here to over 4 minutes and 20 seconds.
So Latunji now. Giving over to Destine. Destine with now a long three-pointer, no good. Battle for the rebound is won by New York Tech. That was Bramble who came in via the substitution on the 32nd timeout. Bramble now gives over in three-point range to Onike. NYIT resetting. It was St. Fercy who thought about a three. Now gives towards the free throw line and locked up jump ball. This will be possession to the Bears.
Dolphins continue to play well offensively, and we're going to have a whistle.
And that will be our media timeout, Mike. So we will step aside, take a break. 15:03 left, first half. Dolphins lead 8-0. Stay with us.
Champions know how to seize opportunities. When they see moments of greatness unfold right before their eyes, they push as hard as they possibly can, and then they push harder. Because the heart of a champion never settles, never quits, and never stops giving its all. We are champions. We are Division II. We go big, we give it everything we've got, and we win. On the field, on our campuses, in our communities, for our causes, in our careers. We rise to become champions in everything we do. We are Division II, and there are no limits here. We make our time count. We set our own path. We become champions on our terms. It's time to up your game, because we're here to play and learn. But most importantly, we're here to discover ourselves, our vision, our heart, our drive, to achieve every goal we aim for, because we want to be champions at the highest level, life. At Division II, the opportunities are here. Are you ready?
And we're back here. NYIT with 9 on the shot clock, getting ready to bring it back in. They do. This is Onike giving it up to Folks, who had checked in. And now a three-pointer, long range, and that one's good by Hayden. Yeah. And the Bears are on the board.
So Hayden gets the first basket of the game for the Bears. Came in shooting 36% from the three-point line.
And that's his sixth three-pointer of the 1920 season. This is Destine now working around to Ziris. He got an open lane on the baseline, drives in, but it looks like he's going to get called for steps. The Dolphins turn it over here.
You have to like, Dave, the way the Dolphins have been able to get the ball inside. They haven't been able to finish in there yet, but they're all getting good looks at the basket.
Now inside, give to Hayden, and he splits the CSI defense and gets through for the quick bucket. And now an 8-point deficit down to 3 for the Bears. And Destine will take possession. Destine with the handoff to Cartalis. Dolphins have yet to make any substitutions so far as we approach the 6-minute mark in half number 1. Destine driving left, rethinks it. Hands off to Cartalis. 10 on the shot clock. Mick, the give off to Destine. He's going one-on-one. Step back three for Destine, just missed it. And the rebound by Bramble. The Bears looking to work quickly. The give inside. Hayden on the baseline. Kicks it back out. It's Utley for 3. No good. Extending for the rebound, and the putback is Onike.
Yeah, big offensive rebound. Second chance basket. Draws the Bears to within 1.
Yeah, you get a good look at that overwhelming size advantage on that last offensive possession. Dolphins 8-point lead down to 1. This is Adiola Latunji. He's driving. Kiss off the glass, too strong. and it's won by Bramble. He drops it off to Hayden. Hayden battling against the defense, drops it off inside. Turnaround layup is good, and the first lead of the game is given to the Bears by Utley.
Yeah, Utley able to get the ball inside, scoring the point. First Bear lead. They're on a 9-0 run.
And now Ziris left open, three-point range. Left-handed three is good for Joe Ziris.
Nice answer that time by Ziris. Gives the Dolphins a lead.
Hayden almost lost it and now has to scramble. Looks like we might get Mick there on a reach-in foul, and it will be on Austin Mick. First foul of the game against the Dolphins, as we'll get our first look at Chris Velasquez, who will check in for the Dolphins. He will replace Destime.
Velasquez played 21 minutes a game, Dave, in the first 3 games, averaging just under 4 points a game.
Yeah, and coming off the bench in all 3 games so far, most minutes of any CSI reserve player so far. Now Utley threw it away. He was looking in the direction of Aaron Folks, not on the same page there, and for the 5th time today, NYIT has turned the ball over.
Yeah, that's a lot of turnovers, Dave. 5 in 7 minutes. Dolphins with 3 thus far.
This is Mick now. Velasquez up top. Utley giving him some space. He drops over to Mick. Mick gets the screen from Ziris. Cartalis now shifts over to his right side. Drops it off inside to Latunji. He was blocked but was fouled. Looks like that'll be on Bramble. Second foul of the game for NYIT.
Yeah, nice extra pass that time, Dave, to Latunji. Took it strong to the basket, drew the foul, and he'll go to the free throw line to shoot 2. 6 of 7 from the line so far, Dave, in 2019.
Yeah, limited sample size, obviously, for Adiola, but 6 of 7, as Mike mentioned, and puts up the first. That's good. 6 points now for Adiola Latunji. Actually, I'm sorry, it's 4 points for Latunji. Second of 2 is in. Nothing but twine for Latunji, who puts the Dolphins back up by 4. It's 13-9 here. Now the drop off up top to Folks. Folks looking to skip one, and another one that gets away from Folks. And another turnover for NYIT. That is turnover number 6. Dolphins with 3 of their own. Dolphins with a chance to grow the lead here, 13-9. Velasquez and getting interfered with was Cartalis, and that's going to be on St. Fursey, the junior guard.
Yeah, not a lot of fouls so far here tonight, Dave. Just 3 for the Bears, 1 for the Dolphins.
With exactly 12 on the clock, another media timeout here from Staten Island. It's the Dolphins 13 and NYIT 9. Stay with us. You're watching men's basketball right here on CSI Sportsnet, CSIDolphins.com.
We're listening, and we want to hear from you. As part of CSI's AOD prevention program, we ask that all students please complete the college prevention survey that was recently sent to their .edu email address. Over the past 2 months, you may have seen some of our posters around campus challenging some of the commonly held misconceptions about the drug and alcohol use of CSI students. For example, did you know that 84% of CSI students reported no marijuana use in the last 30 days? Gathering information such as this and using it to better serve the needs of our students is the goal of our survey. Respondents will receive a PG Clue credit and be automatically entered into drawings for $500 in prizes. To access the survey directly, visit www.buffalo.edu/RIA/NYS survey SI. And for additional information, contact the Health and Wellness Services Office.
Welcome back here to the College of Staten Island. 12 minutes left here in half number 1. The Dolphins at one point with an 8-0 lead, but are holding on to a 4-point advantage. This after NYIT took a 9-8 lead. The Dolphins with the last 5 points. And that one's intercepted, and then interfering with the fast break opportunity was Austin Mick. So he's going to be guilty of the turnover and the foul.
Yeah, so for Mick, that's going to be his second personal, Dave. That's a big foul for the Dolphins with 11:52 remaining in the first half.
Marcus St. Furcy, who's playing in his fourth game for NYIT so far. He gets it back. 3-point range for St. Furcy, no good. And the offensive rebound skipped over to Utley, inside to Hayden, and it's offensive foul as Joe Ziris went down. And something that Ziris has been doing very well the first 3 games, Mike, is getting contact and getting those charging calls.
Yeah, he's gotten 2 tonight, Dave, in addition to causing another turnover or 2. So he's playing very well. The Bears continuing to be generous with the turnovers. I believe that's their 7th.
Yeah, so folks now fronting up on Mick. He's able to get it over to Velasquez. Velasquez looking for options, finds Mick up top. Mick driving left, drops off to Cartalis. He fumbled it at first, drives in, off the glass, soft, is in.
Yeah, and you can see here in this first half, Dave, Mick not looking for the shot at all, distributing the basket. Nice assist that time to Cartalis.
So folks now drops off to St. Furcy. Utley now in front of the CSI bench. Good defense by Velasquez, and now dropping down low, and foul whistled against Joe Ziris, as we'll see Jeffrey Hayden on the line for the first time. Hayden, a redshirt senior from Harlem, New York, Cardinal Hayes High School. As Mike mentioned, having a very fine start to his senior campaign, averaging 19 per game.
Yeah, you mentioned he's a redshirt, Dave. He averaged 22.5 points a game last year, but just in 2 games. And back now in 2019, 2020.
And he's got 60% of NYIT's points right now. 6 out of the 10 have come off his fingertips. And second free throw, no good. A battle for the rebound. Velasquez able to hold it down. And it'll be Desteem now carrying for the Dolphins. Working right side against Utley at first. Velasquez drawing some distance. Now getting it down low to Latunji. Latunji attacks the basket off the glass. No good. And Utley draws the rebound. Should mention that Brandon Redendo has checked in, and he has the basketball for NYIT. Another very good scorer for the Bears so far. Redendo gets it back. Top of the arc. Inside down low. Hayden. And he hits one right from the elbow. And our score is 15-12.
Yeah, Hayden with 8 of those 12 points for the Bears. And Bears already 9 plays in the game here, Dave, through the first 10 minutes.
Well, the Dolphins with a 3-point lead now. It's down to 1 possession as Velasquez gets it back and tries to skip it over to Cartalis, who was going towards the basket during that pass. So Dolphins will turn it over again as well. That's their 5th. Dolphins a +2 in the turnover column so far. Pass over to Utley. Around the horn they go. St. Furcy, remember, Dendo almost lost it. 15 on the shot clock. Utley attacking the baseline all the way up top to Redendo. Redendo back over to Onike for 3 from the baseline. That one's good.
Yeah, that time Onike had a little bit of room by the 3-point line. He's a good 3-point shooter, Dave. He's now 4 of 8 on the year.
Latunji with a spot jumper. He gets that one a go. And 3-point goal for Adiola Latunji. And that gives him exactly 1,000 for his career. I think that was the whistle, Mike, was because some fans came onto the court. So the Dolphins are being whistled with a warning here for having some fans come onto the court. Meanwhile, Latunji has scored his 1,000th career point. You see it on your screen.
Yeah, what a fantastic achievement for Adiola, Dave. And, he's really brought so much to the team since joining them, and, really looking forward to seeing what he could do the rest of this year.
And after a 1,000th point, he gets a steal. Now the give low to Ziris. Fumbled it at first. Back up top to Latunji for open 3. No good. And the rebound won by Utley. If he got that one to go, Mike, this place would have erupted.
Absolutely.
And now stripped of the ball was Utley. Fast break the other way. Velasquez, 1 against 2, puts one off the glass, and it trickles out. But Ziris is there to clean up the mess.
Yeah, Ziris has played really well, Dave. He's been very impressive on both ends of the floor. He now has 5.
Joe Ziris with the big offensive rebound. Almost losing it was Hayden. Managed to keep it in. Redendo. St. Fercy looking to attack. Drops it off to Onike. Thought about a 3. Drives instead. Short jumper. No good. Blocking foul on Ziris, and Ziris is hurt. He was grabbing his bottom of his jaw.
Yeah, sometimes you take a lot of punishment and draw the foul, and don't draw the foul, Dave, as we have an opportunity to get a look at the replay of Adiola burying that three-pointer for Estavis point.
Yeah, that's a replay that he'll remember for a while. He'll probably play that back a few times.
You know, Dave, people don't realize what a challenge it is for these college players to score 1,000 points. And, you know, I don't remember the number offhand of the total number of Dolphins who have played have 1,000 points. That's 33? 33 players. So, you know, that's an awesome achievement by Adiola, and he's still got a lot of basketball left.
Yeah, and to think that he did it really in less than 2.5 seasons, Mike, because obviously this is only his 3rd year with the team, and to do it 4 games into your 3rd season, that's pretty impressive. Redendo now, delivering from 3. That's a nice 3 by Redendo, and a great answer for the Bears as they pull within 2. It's 20-18 with 8 minutes to go here, approaching in the first half. Get our first look from James Delahanty for the Dolphins as he's checked in. Now Latunji again, spot up 3 from the top of the arc, burying it.
Nice screen that time by Delahanty, freeing Latunji. He's got 11.
Redendo with the attack, and he just threw it right into the hands of Delahanty and then interfered with him. And looks like we're going to have another media timeout, Mike, so we will step aside, take a break. Dolphins up by 5, 23-18. Stay with us. You're watching CSI Men's Basketball right here on CSI Sportsnet.
Hobra, a taco joint, Staten Island, where we're proud to have shared our family-first spirit with people from throughout New York City and the world. With indoor dining available both at the bar and on the floor. Or step outside for additional seating and an outdoor bar. Serving beer that's crisp, ice cold, and worthy of a day at the beach. Cocktails that explode with flavor. And great food made with the freshest and healthiest ingredients available. Events feature food and drink specials. Live music. And the best of Staten Island nightlife. Your CSI Student ID saves you 10% on your dining order at Hobra. Visit us at 412 Forest Avenue, Staten Island.
We are back live here from the CSI Sports and Recreation Center, better known as the Tank, where the CSI Dolphins are tipping off their 2019-2020 home portion of their season. They've got themselves a 5-point lead over the NYIT Bears.
Yeah, playing really well tonight, Dave. 8 of 18 from the field so far, 44%, 5 of 8 from the three-point line. So Dolphins playing well offensively so far here tonight.
And Desteem now with St. Fercy draped on him, able to get himself a little bit of room. Desteem now continues, gets a screen from Delahanty, looking inside to him. He gets stripped. Taken away by Redendo. Redendo now wants to hold things up. Restart here. Onike drops it back off now to Stankis, who came back into the game. They work it around the horn. St. Fercy. And there's a long 3, missing it, but getting the offensive rebound. Almost by Bramble, but given away to Latunji. That was Stankis with the 3-point attempt for NYIT. He's been quiet so far in the first half. Desteem needs an outlet, gets it over to Cartalis. The reset over to Velasquez. Across the court to Cartalis. He attacks. Baseline off the glass and in.
Strong move by Cartalis, taking it inside once again. He's got 4 points here for the Dolphins.
Yep, and doing it against the 6'3 Stankus. Nice job by Kartalis. Stankus again. Dolphins employing their zone defense now. And now inside is Bramble. Bramble almost had it stripped away. It goes out of bounds. Last touch by Kartalis. And checking back into the game will be Jeffrey Hayden and Dejavon Utley. And coming out of the game will be Bramble and Stankus. Hayden from the free throw line. And now a long three-pointer for Redendo. He misses it, back iron. Utley almost came down with it, but it ends up into the hands of Latunji. Here come the Dolphins the other way. Latunji gets taken down by Redendo.
Yeah, Latunji kept forcing the issue, and, he's going up for the layup, and Rotundo picked up the foul, so that'll send Adiola to the free throw line as he continues to play well, Dave. And, the Dolphins have come out here in their home opener and really put together a strong first half thus far.
Yeah, and Latunji now, 11 points. And 2 of those points have come via the free throw line. He's now 3 for 3 in that department. As the Dolphins have worked their lead back up to 8 points, it matches their biggest of the game. Chance to go up by 9, and Latunji delivers. He has 13 of the Dolphins' 27. Dolphins up by 9, 27-18, as we approach the 6-minute mark to go here in the first. Utley attacks the baseline, has to deliver up top. Nice defense by the Dolphins. Onike losing it, and Velasquez comes down with it. Another turnover for NYIT. That's number 11. This is Desteem. Desteem attacking left side. Drops it off to Delahanty. Kartalis from way downtown. No good. And the putback attempt, no good. But the foul whistled against NYIT. And the fans were waiting to get up and cheer for that one. That would have been some ESPN-type stuff there, Mike, as Latunji starting to feel it.
Yeah, and Dave, in his first year with the team a couple of years ago, he really displayed like electric ability going to the basket, and you saw a glimpse of it right there as he skied well above the rim and really was going for the slam, ends up going back to the free throw line once again. 13 of the 27 points from Adiola Latunji, as he has an opportunity now to extend the Dolphins' biggest lead of the game.
Yeah, Dolphins' biggest lead of the season as well. They led very briefly in their game against Barry. And if you remember, Mike, on Sunday, they fell behind very big, very early. They fell behind 14-0 to Southern New Hampshire. I believe they're going over the foul situation. The scoreboard says 5 fouls. We have 6 by our count. And now they put up 7, so they split the difference and add 1. Well, official statistics have NYIT with 6 fouls. Scoreboard had 5. Now they have 7. Dolphins up by 10, so somebody's got it right. It's probably the official scorer. We'll get that settled out. Latunji 6 for 6 from the free throw line. He came into the game 6 of 7, so he's been almost perfect this season. Dolphins are up by 11.
9-0 run day for the Dolphins.
And another almost turnover. Onike was interfered with on the way up there. Onike got a nice pass from Hayden and almost fumbled it away, but he's going to have an opportunity to cash in and stop the bleeding here, as Mike mentioned, 9-0 run for the Dolphins. And Onike will go to the line. Onike this season, 10 of 15 from the free throw line, 67%. First one rattles around, no good.
Dave, we mentioned that New York Tech coming in, averaging over 25 turnovers a game. And, as you mentioned earlier, they've turned it over 11 times already. They're shooting well from the floor, but the turnovers have really hurt them.
That's actually 15 per game, Mike, 15.2. Kartalis for 3 on the baseline. It's good. So they work it around now. St. Fercy, short jumper, no good, and Delahanty gets the rebound. So the Dolphins up by 13 points, looking to slow things down. Kartalis with the big baseline 3 the last time down the floor. Hands off to Desteem. Back to Velasquez. Velasquez now attacks right side. That window closed fast. He's now travels. So Dolphins will lose it via the turnover. And NYIT will dump in some substitutions here. Aaron Folks returns, and we'll see our first look from Su Yao Sun, who comes into the game. Su Yao standing 6'9" from Taiwan. He is a junior, seeing his first action, and certainly looking to add some size down low with the Dolphins bringing in Delahanty. So NYIT now a chance to cut into the lead. Hayden for three, and no good. Back iron, rebound, ping-pongs around and gets over to Rigo Destine.
Yeah, good job by the Dolphins getting hands on the basketball until they can get control.
Destine gets it back from Delahanty. His three-pointer is too strong. And there for the rebound was Hayden. Hayden's big half continues. This is Folks now. Dropping it off to St. Fursey. Back to Folks. Folks, open look three-pointer. That's good.
Big three-pointer that time by the Bears. They're now 4 of 9 from the three-point line.
No doubt about it. They needed that point. Cuts the lead to 10, and now it looks like Folks might have run into Velasquez. He will get called for the foul, and that gives us our signal to step aside. Our final media timeout of the half. It's the Dolphins 32 and NYIT 22. More basketball coming up after this.
Champions know how to seize opportunities. When they see moments of greatness unfold right before their eyes, they push as hard as they possibly can, and then they push harder. Because the heart of a champion never settles, never quits, and never stops giving its all. We are champions. We are Division II. We go big, we give it everything we've got, and we win. On the field, on our campuses, in our communities, for our causes, in our careers. We rise to become champions in everything we do. We are Division II, and there are no limits here. We make our time count. We set our own path. We become champions on our terms. It's time to up your game, because we're here to play and learn. But most importantly, we're here to discover ourselves, our vision, our heart, our drive, to achieve every goal we aim for, because we want to be champions at the highest level, life. At Division II, the opportunities are here. Are you ready?
We are back here live from the tank. The Dolphins with a 10-point lead over NYIT, and Rigo Destine will go to the line. This will be a 1-and-1 opportunity. The Dolphins in the bonus here. Destine's first is good.
Rigo now a perfect 3 for 3 from the free throw line, Dave, as the Dolphins open up an 11-point lead once again.
And Destine now with 6 points. Make that 7 as he drains both free throws. Dolphins up by 12. They've led by as many as 13 in this one. This is Folks now. Around the horn, St. Fursey. This is Hayden. Back to Folks. Folks left open for three. No good. It was short. And Velasquez gets the rebound. He's looking to run. Spin pass to Destine. He misses the layup with Folks bearing down on him. St. Fursey now the other way. This is Utley driving baseline, and he gets his layup to go. Nice job by Utley. Sorry, Mike.
It was, Dave. A nice job by Utley to cut inside and get an open path to the basket and make it a 10-point game.
Yeah, big swing there because the Dolphins had a fast break of their own that didn't result in points. Cartalis now to Delahanty, who's played well in the middle. The handoff to Cartalis. He's left open briefly. Cartalis underneath give to Latunji. Latunji off balance is good in the paint.
He continues his strong play here this afternoon, Dave. He's got 17.
And looks like we'll have a charging foul on NYIT. Yeah, and every time we think we've seen every way that Latunji can score, Mike, he shows off another kind of move in his arsenal. That time, that one looked really off balance, and Those are the kind of plays that you see a lot of NBA players make when they drive into the paint looking for contact. And Adiola doing a fantastic job here. So Destime, now they give over to Cartalis. Dolphins on this possession could take their biggest lead of the game. It's been as many as 13. Latunji off the window, no good. And the rebound is won by Folks. Here comes Folks, 3/4 speed up the timeline. Slows it down, now picks it up. The give is over now to Utley after Dawson controlled. Utley tried to thread it between two Dolphins. Nothing there as Delahanty stole it. And this is Destime now controlling with Utley bearing down on him. Destime needs some space. Calls on Delahanty. They give over to Cartalis. 15 on the shot clock. Latunji spinning, losing it. And Utley comes up the other way. 2 against 1. Utley gets interfered with by Destime, and Destime will get called for the foul. That'll be his first.
Yeah, that time the turnover led to the fast break opportunity and the foul. So that'll give the Bears an opportunity to go to the free throw line with 1:50 left here in the first half.
Well, Utley, who came into the game 4 for 4 from the free throw line, makes the first. Cuts the lead to 11. Austin Mick returns for the Dolphins. He's been on the bench for a good spell, and Destime will come off. 1:50 remaining here in the first half. Second free throw by Utley is good. He now has 5 points. Austin Mick controls. Going up against Dawson and finds Cartalis in the corner for 3. No good. Too strong. Hayden comes up with it. So now the Bears down by 10, looking to cut this to single digits with 90 seconds to go in the first half. Up top, Folks. Around the horn, Dawson. Sun back up top. This is Utley now. Utley finding Folks. Around the horn to Dawson. Dawson attacking from the baseline. Jump ball. Possession to the Dolphins.
Big defensive sequence, Dave, that time by the Dolphins. They played well the entire first half. They've led us by as many as 13, and a big opportunity for the Bears to make it single digits. Now an opportunity for the Dolphins to expand on their lead.
And for NYIT now 11 first half turnovers. Dolphins with 6. Velasquez giving over to Cartalis and now to Mick. Mick moving screen by Delahanty. And that sent number 2, Tim Dawson, flying, and that'll be a foul on Delahanty. I believe that's his first. It is.
Yeah, James looked like a pulling guard on that one, Dave. It really cleared out the lane, but got called for the offensive foul.
Yeah, he protested just a little bit, but that one was a good call. Destime will come back into the game. He replaces Mick. As we are under a minute here in the first half. The drop down low interfered with, but won back by Hayden. Hayden had the ball stripped momentarily, gets it back, puts one up, no good, but the foul called, I believe, on Cartalis. The official will make it official. It is Cartalis' foul. That's his first. And it will be Hayden going to the line. Hayden at one point was almost all of the offense for NYIT. He's been quiet since, but that is point number 9 for the young man, and NYIT moves the lead down to single digits, 9 points. Coming up at halftime, we will be joined by CSI head coach TJ Tibbs. We'll get some words from him. Hayden misses the second free throw. Latunji gets the rebound. A couple of possessions left here in this first half. Austin Mick with a 9-point lead. Mick flying to the perimeter, gets it over to Latunji for 3. Dolphins work it back up to 12 points. 3-second differential between shot and game clock. This is Folks. Folks now. Back up top to Dawson. Dawson barking out signals. Gets it to Utley. Utley down low to Sun. Interfered with, but out of bounds. Last touch by Latunji.
You know, Dave, this whole first half, we've seen hands by the Dolphins, getting hands on the ball defensively, deflecting it away, getting hands on the ball on the rebounds, deflecting it until they could get possession. Real good job by the Dolphins, a real good plan, and coming out and playing very aggressive on the defensive end.
Bramble and Redendo have come back in for NYIT. Mick back in for the Dolphins. Destine back in for Mick for the Dolphins. This is Bramble. Bramble down low, tried to drop it, but Delahanty was there. Dolphins could use the last 5 seconds. This is Destine to Latunji, and he drops it in for the goal. The Dolphins with their biggest lead of the half, and they will take it into halftime, 41-27.
Yeah, what a first half that by the Dolphins. Dave finishing up strongly. NYU Tech able to cut the deficit down to only 9 points. Dolphins score the last 5 and go into halftime with a 14-point lead.
All right, and we have TJ Tibbs here on camera. So TJ, must feel nice to go into the locker room with a little bit of a lead here.
First, it's great to be back for another season with you guys, obviously some of the biggest CSI supporters, so appreciate everything you do. I want to make sure we say that. But yeah, it feels good. We're playing against a tough team. Obviously, both of us are struggling right now, so both of us are desperate for a win. Our kids are giving a lot of effort and energy. You know, Addie's a senior. We know what the season is about. He scored his 1,000th point, but everybody's ready to go for the game. And this is a current ECC opponent, so we'd be silly to say that we weren't up for this game. We're ready for it, but we have a lot more to do for the second half.
You know, Coach, throughout that first half, Dave and I were talking about the way that Dolphins kept getting hands on the ball defensively, hands on the ball, tipping the ball around until you were able to secure the rebound. Keep coming out playing very aggressive defensively. Was that part of the plan here tonight?
Yeah, definitely. We just want to, regardless of what type of defense we're playing, we want to have some sort of resistance. We want to be aggressive. We want to be the aggressor, and we want to make people make decisions. And we, all credit to the teams that we played so far, but we feel like we haven't put any pressure on anybody. And we've done a little bit of that in the first half, but not enough to my liking.
All right, TJ, get yourself back into the locker room. Great first half, great 20 coming up. Thanks for coming on board.
Thanks for having me.
All right. That is third-year CSI men's coach TJ Tibbs, who joins us here at halftime. And Mike, before we cut it to commercial and give Joe some time to cue something up, good first half for the Dolphins. They needed it after those first 3 games. NYIT will come out with some vengeance in the second half, but the Dolphins did a lot of things well in that first half.
You know, Dave, you mentioned last year the Dolphins got off to an 0-4 start and were able to bounce back and really end up winning 17 out of their last 23 games. Dolphins come in here tonight really going out on the road and playing some very good teams and really struggling and allowing over 100 points a game. And you had to wonder how they would come out here tonight. They've come out, they played with a lot of confidence. They played very well. They haven't let those tough losses early in the season affect them in any way. And, you know, a lot of respect goes out to head coach TJ Tibbs, his staff, and the players for coming out and playing so well and bouncing back after that tough 0-3 start here this year.
All right, so you see it on your screen. We are at halftime, about 12 and a half to go. So what we're going to do is step aside for a few minutes, and when we come back, we'll take a look at some halftime stats. We'll get you ready for the second half. That's your halftime score. It's the College of Staten Island 41 and New York Tech 27. Stay with us, everybody. You are watching the home opener of the CSI men's basketball team only on CSI Sportsnet, CSIDolphins.com.
They said I couldn't dream. Called me a piece of trash and swore that's all I'd ever be. Said a bottle couldn't see the ocean. Give up. Go back to the dumpster. But I didn't listen. I made my way. And now, I am what I've always wanted to be.
When your car is damaged, where you take it is your decision. But insurance companies would like you to think otherwise. While they may have a lot of pull, it may not always be in the best interest of your car. Your car will be fixed right and on time. What insurance company can argue with that?
Call Dependable Auto Body at 718-447-4898.
Hi, Meals on Wheels.
I'm Marco. I'm a college student, and I volunteer as a driver for Meals on Wheels.
I think it's awesome meeting these people. I mean, they're so interesting. They've had so many wonderful experiences in life. Your community helps to raise you up into the person that you become. Meals on Wheels is a great way to give back to that community.
Hobra, a taco joint, Staten Island, where we're proud to have shared our family-first spirit with people from throughout New York City and the world. With indoor dining available both at the bar and on the floor. Or step outside for additional seating and an outdoor bar. Serving beer that's crisp, ice cold, and worthy of a day at the beach. Cocktails that explode with flavor. And great food made with the freshest and healthiest ingredients available. Events feature food and drink specials, live music, and the best of Staten Island nightlife. Your CSI Student ID saves you 10% on your dining order at Hobra. Visit us at 412 Forest Avenue, Staten Island.
Listen, you're my friend.
I noticed you haven't really been yourself recently.
Yeah, I feel like something's up.
How are you?
Are you okay?
Is there anything you want to talk about?
I just want to know how you're feeling.
And listen, even if you don't know what to say, I'm here to talk.
No matter what you're going through,
I just want you to know I'm here.
I've got your back. When you want to talk, I'm here.
The Kettle Black on Staten Island, a top 5 wing joint in America by Food and Wine magazine. Serving daily lunch and dinner at the bar or on the floor. Perfect for family and group parties with top shelf drink and delicious food. From great times with good friends. Live sports and watch parties. To Staten Island's hottest nightlife. The Kettle Black features live music and DJs weekly. The Kettle Black features daily and nightly food and drink specials. The best Staten Island has to offer is at the Kettle Black. We'll see you there at the Kettle Black, located on 415 Forest Avenue, Staten Island.
Welcome back here to the Tank, the campus of the College of Staten Island. You see on your screen, we are at intermission. The Dolphins with their biggest lead of the game, 41-27. We got about 6 to 7 minutes left here, Mike, in the half. May as well look at some halftime stats, take a look at what's going on numerically between these two teams. And you see where the discrepancies are, Mike. The Dolphins are shooting the ball very well, especially from long range.
Yeah, you know, Dave, there's no doubt about it. 7 of 12 from the three-point line, 58%, and shooting 48% from the field. And, you know, Dave, this is a Dolphin team that came into tonight's game shooting just 35% from the field and had just hit really 22 of 99, 22% from the three-point line. You combine that with the fact that they're 8 of 8 from the free throw line and that they've caused 14 bad turnovers in that first half while turning the ball over just 9 times themselves. And you see a lot of the reason why the Dolphins go into halftime with a 14-point lead.
Yeah, absolutely. And even though they are a -3 in rebounds, Mike, they did a really good job of forcing turnovers, like you said, kind of making up for that disparity. Got themselves a couple of rebounds on the offensive glass as well. And the Dolphins with 7 steals in the first half, 3 for NYIT. And the Dolphins have also, even though both teams with 8 fouls, Mike, nobody really in any foul trouble. They don't have to worry. I mean, when you're a team like the Dolphins who are very light on numbers, that's always a concern. And the Dolphins, of course, keeping everybody, at bay, keeping everybody really out on the floor instead of on the bench.
Yeah, just a couple of Dolphins with 2 fouls, Zeris with 2, and Mick with 2 for the Dolphins. But you're right, and you look at the CSI Dolphin team, Dave. They just played 7 plays in that first half. So TJ limiting his bench use in the first half. It'll be interesting to see how both teams come out here at half number 2.
And before we throw it to break and get you ready for the second half, it's one of the things that we see, Mike, with the CSI Dolphins being very streaky is their free throw shooting. Well, they are 8 of 8 in the first half, 6 of 6 for Adeola Latunji, who's been having a tremendous season for the line. So that's where we are right now at halftime. We have about 4 minutes and change to go before the start of the second half. So we're going to step aside, take a break, and when Mike and I come back, we will bring you second half action live here from the tank on the campus of the College of Staten Island. It's the Dolphins 41 and New York City and New York Tech 27. We are at halftime. Stay with us. Second half coming up.
Hobra, a taco joint, Staten Island, where we're proud to have shared our family-first spirit with people from throughout New York City and the world. With indoor dining available both at the bar and on the floor. Or step outside for additional seating and an outdoor bar. Serving beer that's crisp, ice cold, and worthy of a day at the beach. Cocktails that explode with flavor. And great food made with the freshest and healthiest ingredients available. Events feature food and drink specials. Live music. And the best of Staten Island nightlife. Your CSI Student ID saves you 10% on your dine-in order at Hobra. Visit us at 412 Forest Avenue, Staten Island.
When your car is damaged, where you take it is your decision. But insurance companies would like you to think otherwise. While they may have a lot of pull, it may not always be in the best interest of your car. Your car will be fixed right and on time. What insurance company can argue with that?
Call Dependable Auto Body at 718-447-4898.
The Kettle Black on Staten Island, a top 5 wing joint in America by Food and Wine magazine. Serving daily lunch and dinner at the bar or on the floor. Perfect for family and group parties with top shelf drink and delicious food. From great times with good friends, live sports and watch parties, to Staten Island's hottest nightlife. The Kettle Black features live music and DJs weekly. The Kettle Black features daily and nightly food and drink specials. The best Staten Island has to offer is at the Kettle Black. We'll see you there at the Kettle Black, located on 415 Forest Avenue, Staten Island. Be sure to check out the Kettle Black's monthly calendar of events, only at kettleblackbar.com.
Welcome back here to the tank here on the campus of the College of Staten Island. The CSI Dolphins with a 41-27 lead here at the half. We are getting set for the second half of action. The time on your screen, that counts us down to what will be the second half of play. And, Mike, we talk a lot about Staten Island, the things that they did well. We spoke to TJ Tibbs right before the intermission. What does New York Tech have to do to get themselves back in this game?
Well, I think that the Tech needs to start with stop turning the ball over, Dave. You turn the ball over 14 times a game, and you mentioned before averaging just under 16 a game. So they really almost did that in the first half alone. So that's the first thing they got to stop. They're not shooting the ball terribly. They're 9 of 21, and they've been able to rebound the ball effectively, but I think they've had at least 4 turnovers on offensive fouls, and they've been a little sloppy with the basketball. So if you're New York Tech, you want to start with stop turning the ball over, and the second thing they're going to have to do is figure out a way to deny Latunji the basketball, because Adiola obviously leading all scores with 22 points in that first half. The nearest Dolphin next to Adiola has 7, so they're going to look to get the ball out of Latunji's hands as well.
Very well said. Dolphins, as Mike mentioned, have forced 14 turnovers in this one.
Yeah, a lot of interesting stats there, Dave, and one that jumps out: Dolphins not getting points off the bench.
Yeah, 12-0 in that category, Mike.
Yeah, and again, the Dolphins. The Dolphins did a nice job closing out the first half, Dave. Tech cut the lead down to 9. Dolphins finished on a 5-0 run.
So it'll be NYIT starting with the basketball in the second half, and a quick block, and Dolphins will get possession. Nice job by the CSI defense, and something that NYIT really hasn't been able to do is really set up in the paint down low. They've been contested on just about everything. Latunji, bounce pass inside to Ziris, who's been quiet since the early stages of the first half. This is Desteem. Desteem all the way inside, off the glass and in.
Boy, he continues to play with a lot of confidence. Dave, second on the team in scoring with 9, Dolphins' biggest lead of the game.
Now an inside give, and Hayden now puts one up strong. He's blocked by Ziris, and Tech will get the ball back here with 19 on the shot clock. Dolphins working themselves up in blocks as well. Officially, that's the 3rd Dolphins block. They definitely have more than that.
Seems like it.
Hayden around the horn. Utley had it. He gives it baseline, a 3-point attempt, no good by Dawson. And the Dolphins will slow things down. You notice that NYIT not pressing in the backcourt with the Dolphins, something that opponents had a lot of success against the Dolphins. First 3 games. This is Kartalish driving baseline too strong. I believe he was expecting some contact. Mike never got it. Hayden drops off to Onike. He gets his own rebound, and Hayden gets that one. And the reset over to Utley. Utley driving right side, gains the paint. Puts it out to Dawson. Dawson back up top to Utley. Dropping it off to St. Fercy. Hayden trying to drive inside. They work it around. Onike for 3. It's good.
Yeah, that was a good finish that time by Tech, but Dolphins continuing to play strong defense here in the second half.
And the Bears needed that one. They dropped the CSI lead down to 13. Dolphins led by 14 at the break. This is Mick, who puts one too high off the glass. And Onike comes down with the rebound. This is Utley now. Utley driving into the paint, blocked by Desteem, but it's an offensive foul.
Wow, sorry, Dave. I wasn't sure if that was going to be called an offensive foul or a travel. I'm sure the Dolphins prefer the offensive foul, as that's going to be a foul on Utley. First team foul of the second half.
So Mick controls. He's working against Dawson here. Mick looks left side to Latunji. His first touch of the second half. He drives all the way in, and that was blocked by Onike. Nice job. It'll be Dolphins ball. I don't understand why Hayden let that go.
Not sure, Dave. He must have thought a Dolphin player touched it, but they most definitely did not.
Yeah.
And it's going to be Dolphin basketball.
He absolutely did, and all of his teammates were kind of already up on the other side of the court, so no one had a chance to tell Hayden to grab that ball. So the Dolphins with 14 on the shot clock will reset things here with Mick. Mick over to Ziris. Ziris gains the paint, drops it over to Latunji. Nice move to gain the baseline. Puts it up, but there's a foul whistled. Shot was nowhere close. Latunji will go to the line where he's 6 of 6.
Yeah, so, here in the second half, Dave, the Dolphins continuing to play well. Latunji going to the free throw line. He's been perfect thus far.
2 more attempts. Dolphins not at the line here. This is something the Dolphins have been known to do, is leave the paint clear, leave Adiola alone. And he delivers anyway. He's 8 of 8 from the free throw line, and he's got 24 on the game. Had 28 on Sunday. Dolphins up by 15. They've led by as many as 16. Dawson. Now the give is to St. Fursey. He tries a 3. No good. Utley. Nice offensive rebound. The putback. No good. Looks like Onike might have gotten to it. Now that was Hayden. His shot was blocked again. And it'll be an...
I think the ball hit the end line, Dave, off the block, so it'll be Bear basketball.
Andrew Cartalis credited with that last block. This is Utley now. Utley stripped by Mick. Nice job by Austin Mick. Another steal for the Dolphins. Destime back to Mick as the Dolphins will look to reset. Austin Mick now. Looking for some help. Drops off to Destime. Destime, a long three-pointer. No good. Too long off the back iron. And the rebound won by Utley. Onike drops off. This is Dawson for 3, and that one's good.
So 2 baskets in the second half for the Bears, both from the three-point line to make it a 12-point game.
Another big basket, another big 3 to get themselves back in it as NYIT refusing to be cast aside. There's a big block by Onike on Mick. And here comes Hayden the other way. 3 versus 4, and skipping in and getting it to go is St. Fursey. And the lead back down to 10.
Yeah, nice job by Tech coming back strong. They've scored the last 5.
And now Ziris now with Onike looking to get the steal there. Ziris goes inside, but he's stripped by St. Fursey. Too much of Ziris' hands. So we are going to have an official whistle as our first media timeout of the second half. We'll step aside, take a break. CSI Dolphins up by 10, 45-35. More men's basketball coming up next.
Champions know how to seize opportunities. When they see moments of greatness unfold right before their eyes, they push as hard as they possibly can, and then they push harder. Because the heart of a champion never settles, never quits, and never stops giving its all. We are champions. We are Division II. We go big, we give it everything we've got, and we win. On the field, on our campuses, in our communities, for our causes, in our careers. We rise to become champions in everything we do. We are Division II, and there are no limits here. We make our time count. We set our own path. We become champions on our terms. It's time to up your game, because we're here to play and learn. But most importantly, we're here to discover ourselves, our vision, our heart, our drive, to achieve every goal we aim for, because we want to be champions at the highest level, life. At Division II, the opportunities are here. Are you ready?
Welcome back here to the tank at the College of Staten Island. Dolphins with a 10-point lead. I want to send a special shout out, Mike, to Jen Pizzuto, who's listening in South River, New Jersey.
One of our favorite fans, Dave.
Absolutely. She a consistent viewer, I will say that, and certainly a great supporter of CSI basketball, men and women. We're always following on CSI Sportsnet. Joe Ziris drains his free throws to extend CSI back up to a 12-point advantage.
Dolphins still perfect from the free throw line, Dave.
Yeah, Dolphins were very streaky a year ago from the free throw line. They've been perfect tonight. This is Folks who checked into the game and foul on the Dolphins. First foul against CSI in this second half.
Yeah, a little bit of a reach-in foul, Dave called on that play against Cartalis. So for Andrew, that's going to be his second.
So shot clock resets to 20 seconds. Another one of those rule changes from this season. Got to speed up play a little bit, speed up offensive possessions. This is Folks who comes away with that one. Nice kiss off the glass by Folks.
Yeah, Dave, after not only the fouls, but offensive rebounds that don't go into the backcourt, the shot clock will be reset to 20, not 30 seconds this year.
Yep, one of the changes that we'll be getting used to. Austin Mick, a long three, no good. Onike got interfered with by Adeola Latunji, so for Latunji, that'll be his second personal. And the Dolphins have picked up a quick 2 fouls here past the media timeout.
You know, Dave, Austin didn't take a shot in that first half. He's already taken 3 through the first 5 minutes here in half number 2.
Yeah, might have been given a directive by his coaching staff that if he has the open look, to take it. This is Folks now, working it up. This is Dawson. Dawson now to Redendo, who had checked in as well during that timeout. Hayden gets double teamed. Passed out to Redendo for 3, no good. Long rebound won by Mick. Nice job by Austin Mick tracking that down. Skip pass over to Desteem, and the foul on the floor. That basket will not count, and it will be on Folks, who gets called for the foul. Aaron Folks, the sophomore guard from Richmond, Virginia.
And that's going to be the 4th team foul, Dave, on the Bears. So they've picked up fouls so far here in the second half. Just 2 fouls thus far for the Dolphins as they'll inbound from the side court.
So Ziris will be doing the inbounding here. Desteem flashes at him, gets the ball. Austin Mick. Mick dribbles left, now spin move, gains the paint, kicks it back out to Ziris. Ziris gets it over to Desteem. Desteem wants to attack the rim. Turnaround jumper from the baseline, and it's just enough.
And that was a tough shot that time by Rigo. First Dolphin other than Latunji to reach double figures. He has 11.
And the crowd that has collected behind us kind of willed that one in, Mike. Kind of heard them rising up. And there's almost another strip there by Mick. This is Hayden from the free throw line. That's good.
Yeah, nice recovery that time by Hayden to hit the basket from the free throw line extended after the Dolphins were able to knock the ball away.
Now a press here by Redendo as Mick is able to shed him. Redendo putting some pressure on Mick. Ziris had a wide open look, decides to penetrate instead. Nice left-handed layup by Joe Ziris.
Yeah, that time Dawson tried to draw the foul. The official wasn't buying it. Dolphin lead back to 12.
Redendo now gets to it. Kicks it around to Dawson. Back to Redendo. Dawson. NYT can't seem to get anything established inside. This is Hayden now. Kicks it wide open. Redendo for 3, and that one's good.
Yeah, the three-point is really keeping Tech in the game.
So Mick now controls. Front steps, gets over to Ziris. Ziris attacking the rim. He puts one off the glass, no good. He'll go to the line. As it looks like getting in there late was Tim Dawson. Actually, that'll be called against Onike.
Ziris able with an opportunity here, Dave, to get it to double figures himself. And, you know, he's played beyond his numbers so far here tonight, Dave. He's been very effective defensively. He's worked well within the offense and really played a strong game for the Dolphins.
Yeah, and when talking offline to Ziris, you see his line on your screen, 9 points. That's the Dolphins' first free throw miss. You know, Joe told us that he's going to have to play more of a big man role this year, obviously, with the Dolphins, you know, short on size. And he's not afraid to get scrappy underneath and fight for loose balls and rebounds. And he's got a good attacking style, too. Very deceptive with that left hand of his. There's the second free throw. That's good. And he's in now double digits. Third Dolphin to hit the double-digit mark. He joins Latunji and Desteem in that department. We're under 13 minutes to go here in regulation time. The Dolphins back up by double digits. Folks, Redendo, baseline, teardrop jumper, no good. Loose ball, and it's going to be last touched by Cartalis.
Yeah, and that time it was a nice job by the Bears, Dave, tipping the ball around and able to make the Dolphins have the last touch, so they'll get an opportunity to inbound with 20 on the shot clock.
This is Folks now. His hand at a three. No good, too strong. Very long rebound. Skips over to Mick. Mick looks up, gives it over to Ziris. Ziris to Destim. Destim has a lane, losing it, and Redendo is going to get called for the foul. He did not like that call, emphatically protesting, but not sure if that'll be a shooting foul. It will not be. Dolphins will be in the bonus the next foul.
Yeah, that time Dolphins might have gotten a little bit of a break, Dave. We go driving into the lane, kind of lost his footing a little bit, but able to draw the foul.
Well, Latunji with the reset here. Now decides to attack from the right side. Turnaround, jumper, 7-footer, no good, and loose ball foul called against Ziris.
Yeah, and for Joe, that's going to be his third, Dave, so that's a big foul on Ziris. Now the Bears with possession of the basketball, trying to get within double digits.
So MYIT now. This is Folks. They've opted for the three-point shot their last few possessions. Now Hayden inside. Penetrates. Bramble with the rebound and the putback. No good. Hayden with another opportunity. He gets it to go and the foul.
Yeah, that time the Bears able to get 3 opportunities at the basket and able to draw the foul and lay it in. And with a free throw here, an opportunity to make it a 7-point game, Dave. But first we're going to have a timeout.
And with that, we will step aside. Media timeout here on the floor. Dolphins lead 52-44 when we come back. Stay with us. You're watching men's basketball right here on CSI Sportsnet, CSIDolphins.com.
We're listening, and we want to hear from you. As part of CSI's AOD prevention program, we ask that all students please complete the college prevention survey that was recently sent to their .edu email address. Over the past 2 months, you may have seen some of our posters around campus challenging some of the commonly held misconceptions about the drug and alcohol use of CSI students. For example, did you know that 84% of CSI students reported no marijuana use in the last 30 days? Gathering information such as this and using it to better serve the needs of our students is the goal of our survey. Respondents will receive a PG Clue credit and be automatically entered into drawings for $500 in prizes. To access the survey directly, visit www.buffalo.edu/RIA/NYS survey SI. And for additional information, contact the Health and Wellness Services Office.
Welcome back here to the Tank, the campus of the College of Staten Island. It's the home opener for the CSI Dolphins after an 0-3 start, Mike. They find themselves up by 12 at halftime. That lead diminished now to 8 points.
Yeah, you got to give Tech a lot of credit to Dolphins picking up the first basket of the second half, opening up a 16-point lead. But since then, Tech has outscored the Dolphins 17-9. To make it an 8-point game with just under 12 minutes remaining, and Jeffrey Hayden to go to the free throw line with an opportunity to make it a 7-point game.
And Hayden with 13 points, a chance to make it 14, and front irons it, and Dolphins fortunate to get the skipping rebound into the hands of Cartalis. Now Mick controls. Redendo, who's given the Bears a spark since he's come in, fronting on Mick. Delahanty, bounce pass to Latunji down low, and he gets interfered with on the way up. That's going to be on St. Fursey.
Yeah, so a good job by Latunji. He drove it down the baseline and was able to pick up the foul once again, and that's going to be a foul, Dave, on Marcus St. Fursey, and that's going to be his 4th. So Latunji to the line to shoot 2. He's been perfect from the line so far tonight.
Yeah, 8 of 8, make it 9 of 9. And second free throw is up and good. He's now 10 of 10 and has 26 on the evening. Latunji closing in on his career high. Almost got there on Sunday. Career high of 30 for Adiola. He's got 26. Dolphins back up by 10. This is Hayden. Drops the shoulder, gets into the lane, puts up the short jumper. No good, but he was fouled. And we're starting to get to see Jeffrey Hayden trying to take over the offense here for the Bears. Done a good job of getting dirty down there underneath, Mike.
Yeah, and it looks like first-year coach Evan Conti has made a decision to try to see if they can force the ball inside and see if the Dolphins can defend in there. Hayden on the last couple of possessions taking the ball right into the paint.
Second free throw, no good. Back iron. Latunji gets to it. Here comes a fast break the other way. Velasquez off the glass and in.
Good play that time by Velasquez, able to read the play, break out, and get his first basket of the night.
And Latunji was in perfect harmony with him that time. Dolphins with a rare fast break here in this one. Up by 11. Handoff is to Utley. Redendo, once again, underneath they go. Bramble, no good. Gets his own rebound after it went off a couple of fingertips. And Bramble looks like he will go to the free throw line for the first time. Bramble looking for his first points.
Yeah, Dave, and you see now the Bears really starting to rebound the basketball effectively. They've already out-rebounded the Dolphins by double digits, and they've been able to grab a couple of offensive rebounds on the last few possessions.
So Bramble, a junior from Kingstown, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, hits his first point of the game. NYIT down by 10, now make that 9 as he sinks both free throws. And now with 11 minutes to play, the Dolphins see their lead back down to single digits. Austin Mick decides to backpedal here. Now drives into the paint to Cartalis. Cartalis, he gains the paint. Delahanty underneath, lost it at first, and tries to put it up the glass, no good. Here comes NYIT the other way. This is Redendo. Redendo gaining baseline, kicks it back out to Utley. Utley in the paint, puts one up off of Delahanty, no good, and the rebound skips into the hands of Latunji.
Bodies flying all over the place, but the Dolphins come away with the rebound.
Latunji now closing in on a double-double. As he approaches 10 rebounds, Latunji drops it up to Cartalis. Cartalis gets it inside, feeds it to Delahanty, off the glass and in.
Delahanty not letting the last miss bothering him, and James gets his first basket of the night.
Yeah, first chance didn't work. Go right back to it. And that time it did. That's his Folks up top to Redendo. Redendo drops it down low to Bramble. Bramble up top to Folks. Around the horn they go. Utley to Folks. Folks driving, gains the free throw line. Backpedals. Redendo thought about a three. Intercepted by Cartalis.
Another great defensive play by the Dolphins. They continue to do a great job on the defensive end.
Cartalis, no looker to Latunji. He opts back to Mick. Mick, Cartalis, baseline three, wide open, no good. Missed it short. Bramble gets the rebound. Folks around the horn, Onike. Back to Folks. Redendo, open look three-pointer. No good, missed it. Off the side of the rim. Velasquez, bounce pass to Latunji. Latunji, running start, off the glass, no good, too strong. Gets his own rebound, off the glass and in.
Yeah, that time I think Latunji expected a little bit more resistance. Able to grab his own rebound, stick with it. Now has 28, Dave.
And it's a 30-second timeout, so we will keep it right here on the floor. The Dolphins, up by 13, saw their lead cut down to 8, I believe, or 7 was it, back when Hayden drained the free throw, and they've expanded that, and Dolphins starting to take a little bit of advantage, Mike, on the fast break.
Yeah, you know, Dave, I think you're right. It was 8. They missed the free throw that would have gotten them to 7, and, you know, they were able to get inside double digits a couple of times. The last time at 56-47. Since then, the Dolphins with the last 4 points. The Delahanty basket inside, and Latunji, and now the Dolphins open their lead back to 13. Starting to get a little late for the Bears. 9-10 remaining here in the second half.
Yeah, and this is the time of the game, too, where fatigue starts to set in a little bit. It's still the early stages of the season. We'll see how deep the benches go these last few minutes. Obviously, the Dolphins don't have that deep of a bench, obviously, especially with the injury to Christian Kopech and with the foul situation being what it is. So the Dolphins, with Joe Ziris on the bench, will continue to try and nurse the 5 that they have on the floor, and James Delahanty has played well since he's come in.
Yeah, and you got to be really impressed, Dave, with the way that the Bears have been able to cut into that Dolphin lead, getting it under double digits on at least 3 or 4 occasions, but the Dolphins have never panicked. They've continued to run their offense, and they've continued to play very scrappy on the defensive end, and it adds up to a 13-point lead with 9:10 remaining.
So any fouls from here on in will put both teams at the line. CSI with 6 team fouls, and you notice they're already in the bonus. As we reset here, this is Utley. Utley around the horn. St. Fercy, Folks. Dolphins doing a good job of putting pressure on the ball handlers. Utley, St. Fercy, back to Utley. He drives, baseline, puts one up near the top of the key to Folks for three. No good. Offensive rebound by Utley.
Yeah, that was a beautiful snatch rebound that time by Utley, able to lay it up and in, and the Bears really needed that basket to make it an 11-point game.
Yeah, Dejavon Utley contributing here. And now the inside give to Latunji. Finds Cartalis on the baseline. That's a three.
Big answer that time for the Dolphins is Cartalis playing big, 7 points for Andrew.
And now Utley, spin move into the baseline. Folks dropping off to Onike for three. No good. He misses it. Long rebound, won by Velasquez. Dolphins slowing things down here, up by 14 points, 8 minutes to go. Next dead ball will prompt a media timeout. Velasquez, Cartalis, long range three.
No hesitation by Cartalis. 6 points in the last two possessions. 17-point Dolphin lead.
Biggest lead of the game for the Dolphins. This is Folks. St. Fercy back to Folks. They work it around the arc. Hayden, first touch in quite a while for Hayden. Almost stripped of the ball. He gets it back. Finds baseline. Pass was too strong. And it's won by Latunji. Here come the Dolphins the other way. Latunji wants space. Gets it. And gives it over to Mick. Austin Mick now controlling. Austin Mick receives a screen from Delahanty. Looking baseline, finds Velasquez. Velasquez, 10 on the shot clock. Reverses dribble, finds Mick. Mick, long range three!
3 3-pointers in a row for the Dolphins. 20-point lead, their biggest of the game inside 7 minutes remaining.
20-point lead for the Dolphins, their biggest of the game, their biggest of the season. St. Fercy to Utley. Utley, he spots up for three. Nice arcing three for Utley.
That breaks a 9-0 Dolphin run and makes it a 17-point game.
Austin Mick now controls for the Dolphins. 6:30 remaining. Dolphins really in no real urgency or hurry. They'll look to take this down now inside of 10 seconds on the shot clock. This is Mick. Doesn't have a lot of room. Velasquez with a baseline three. No good. Long rebound. It skips over to Cartalis. And that one is stripped. Nice job by Utley. Utley coast to coast and puts it in.
Boy, what a huge turnaround there for the Bears, Dave. The Dolphins had an opportunity with a possession to build on a 17-point lead. Instead, the big steal brings the Bears to within 15 with 6:07 remaining. Quick timeout taken.
30-second timeout turns into a media timeout. It's a full timeout. We'll step aside, take a break. When we come back, Dolphins up by 15. Stay with us.
Champions know how to seize opportunities. When they see moments of greatness unfold right before their eyes, they push as hard as they possibly can, and then they push harder. Because the heart of a champion never settles, never quits, and never stops giving its all. We are champions. We are Division II. We go big, we give it everything we've got, and we win. On the field, on our campuses, in our communities, for our causes, in our careers. We rise to become champions in everything we do. We are Division II, and there are no limits here. We make our time count. We set our own path. We become champions on our terms. It's time to up your game, because we're here to play and learn. But most importantly, we're here to discover ourselves, our vision, our heart, our drive, to achieve every goal we aim for, because we want to be champions at the highest level, life. At Division II, the opportunities are here. Are you ready?
And we're back here to live action. The Dolphins with a 15-point lead. Possession of the basketball after the Utley fast break. And Desteem now, with the Bears putting on heavy defensive pressure now, they need every possession to go in their favor at this point. Velasquez gets it over to Cartalis. Single digits on the shot clock. Delahanty to Adeola Latunji for three. It's good.
Adeola Latunji continuing his red-hot shooting, and Dolphins shooting well from the three-point line. I think they've hit their last four, Dave.
Career day for Adeola Latunji, 31 points. And there's a foul, as getting up for that one was Hayden. NYIT is in the bonus. 1-and-1 opportunity here for Hayden.
So, Dave, on the day Latunji gets his 1,000th point, he also gets his career high in scoring, 31, and opportunity to add to it with 5:25 remaining.
Have a feeling we'll be talking to Adeola Latunji at the end of this game. We'll have him on post-game, talk about the career accomplishment and the great day he's had out of bounds. And that's lost by Desteem. As you could see, Mike, this is something that gave the Dolphins a lot of problems in their first three games. The press, obviously, and it forces another turnover. Let's see if the Bears can make it hurt. Down by 18. Hayden from the elbow and rattles around, no good. Desteem kicks it over to Cartalis. He gains the timeline. Cartalis to Velasquez, and now he's able to hold things up inside of 5 minutes to go here in regulation time.
Nice play by Velasquez. Bring it out, run down the clock with an 18-point lead.
Velasquez will hold it probably till there's 10 on the shot clock. Now he begins his dribble. Desteem, he puts one up for three, no good. Delahanty got a fingertip on it, and it will be out against Delahanty. NYIT will have possession with 4:39 to go.
Yeah, I thought that was a tough call. I thought the Bear player might have gone over Delahanty. Official disagrees, so it'll be Bear basketball, but getting late, Dave, with just 4:39 remaining. The Bears will inbound the basketball, and Redondo going to let it roll and waste as much time as possible, or save time.
Yeah, at this point, every possession becomes critical for the Bears. Onike dribbles in. He lost possession. Hayden was there, but he can't get the putback in. Delahanty losing possession. We're going to have a blocking foul against Onike.
Yeah,
Onike, that's his third.
You know, Onike aggressively going after Delahanty. Delahanty doing a nice job to maintain possession, and he'll go to the free throw line. And, you know, a couple of baskets here and another missed possession or two, Dave, and going to make it very tough for New York Tech. Is, you know, we mentioned a couple of times here in the second half, the Dolphins really playing with a lot of composure, not getting rattled, even though the Bears kept coming at him. Big 18-point lead, and Delahanty with an opportunity to open up that lead.
Delahanty might have gotten scratched and cut on that play, so you see our head trainer, Allison Ocasio, putting a little duct tape on it and getting him back into the game. Delahanty with a 1-and-1 opportunity here. He's with none of his friends at the line with him. He hits the first. Nice job by Delahanty.
James now 1 of 3 from the line on the year. Or I should say, make that 3 of 4, Dave, for James.
And he matches the 20-point lead that the Dolphins had earlier, as NYIT will look to buy themselves some precious seconds here. St. Furcy over to Utley, who's had a nice game. St. Furcy inside, bottled up. Redendo. This is Utley. Gains the paint, puts one, and in, no good. It was foul before. Mike wants a travel call. Mike, you're not on screen. Nobody can see you call the travel.
I thought there might have been a little extra step there. The official disagrees, and that will send the Bears to the free throw line to shoot 2, as it looks like Joe Zaris is going to check back into the game for the Dolphins, Dave. And, you know, you go down and you look at the Dolphins who played here tonight, and, you know, really nobody not coming out, giving max effort and playing well for the CSI here this evening.
Lost in all this is the good game that Utley has had for NYIT. He's only a sophomore, too, so as NYT looks to build their program, obviously, and take some steps towards the future. He's part of it. Ziris now cuts against the press. This is Latunji. There's Kartalis. Wide open three-pointer. No good. And an offensive foul by Latunji, who picks up foul number 4.
And Andrew got hit a little bit. He's limping a little bit back to the back. And, you know, the shot was good within the offense, Dave, and it was a wide open jumper by Andrew from the three-point line. But there was 20 seconds on the shot clock when the shot went up, and then the Dolphins commit the loose ball foul. So an opportunity now for the Bears to score with the clock stopped.
First free throw is good, as folks will check back into the game. Second free throw by St. Fercy is good. And the lead back down to 18. Here comes the full court press again. Desteems now gives over to Ziris. Dolphins looking to get it past the timeline. They do. Inside give. Latunji throws it down.
That's the kind of high percentage shot, Dave, you're looking for. And Latunji jams it home. 33 for Adiola.
Terrific game for him. Now has 1,025 on the season. Loose ball, kicked around, and Desteem gets to it. Dolphins want to take their time here. 3.5 minutes remaining. Dolphins are up by 18 points. Desteem gives over to Mick. Taking their time now, 10 on the shot clock. Mick resets, finds Kartalis. Kartalis driving baseline, gives it over to Ziris. Dolphins got to get a shot off. Ziris in the paint, that's good.
That could be the dagger, Dave. 20-point lead under 3 minutes remaining. Beautiful offensive sequence by the Dolphins.
And a beautiful second look on that replay dunk by Latunji, as that one is thrown away off the Dolphins. Wholesale substitutions now coming in as we have a media timeout, the final one of the game. So the CSI Dolphins go into this one with a 20-point lead. It's 78-58. Final couple of minutes and change coming up here after this. Stay with us.
Hobra, a taco joint, Staten Island, where we're proud to have shared our family-first spirit with people from throughout New York City and the world. With indoor dining available both at the bar and on the floor. Or step outside for additional seating and an outdoor bar. Serving beer that's crisp, ice cold, and worthy of a day at the beach. Cocktails that explode with flavor. And great food made with the freshest and healthiest ingredients available. Events feature food and drink specials, live music, and the best of Staten Island nightlife. Your CSI Student ID saves you 10% on your dining order at Hobra. Visit us at 412 Forest Avenue, Staten Island.
Welcome back here to the tank. As you can see, the nice crowd that has collected here at CSI for the home opener. Pretty nice crowd across from us as well. We're here on your screen, right in the middle of your screen, and across from us has built a really pretty good crowd as well. So Dolphins showing some force here, Dolphins fans, and their first game against a future ECC opponent. We didn't get to talk a lot, Mike, about the Dolphins' move to Division II and their move especially to the East Coast Conference. Dolphins will have another game coming up later on this season against St. Thomas Aquinas College, and give them a pretty good advanced look at some teams they'll be facing twice a year from here on in.
Yeah, you know, the basketball and all the athletics really pick it up a notch since the move into Division II, and Dolphins coming out big in their home opener here tonight.
So a baseline jumper, no good by Dawson, who missed it wildly, and now with 2.5 minutes to play, the Dolphins with a 20-point lead should be in no hurry here.
Dave, why Austin dribbling the ball, we should mention quickly the women will be back in action this Saturday, part of a men's-women's doubleheader that we'll have right for you here on CSI Sportsnet. Looking for the women to have a similar result as the men's home opener here tonight.
Yeah, Dolphins will be playing Division II Post University and looking also for their first victory of the season after an 0-3 start. CSI men will play Johnson and Wales at a 3 p.m. game, so nice non-conference doubleheader against two teams that we don't get a chance to see very often. This is Folks for three, and he drains it. Nice three for Folks. 100 seconds left in this one. Destine controls, gives it over to Mick. Racing in to try and get it was Utley. Ziris back to Mick. And this is Mick. Mick tries to threaten Utley, might have gotten a fingertip on it. 7 seconds left on the shot clock. Dolphins will continue to have possession. So we mentioned after this for the Dolphins will be a weekend home game against Johnson and Wales. And Dolphins will stay home after that. We'll give you some more games coming up. Ziris for three.
Yeah, great night for Joe. 15 points for Ziris, in addition to all the great work he's done on the defensive end and on the glass for the Dolphins here tonight.
Yeah, limited with foul trouble to boot. Still putting up some pretty gaudy numbers. So now we have 1 minute remaining, and this one all but over. The Dolphins are going to advance to 1-3 overall. We have a quick timeout here by the Dolphins, primarily to get some substitutions into the game, as we'll see Justin Cardenas come in for the first time. Sorry, Mike.
No, I was just going to say, Dave, what a job by the CSI basketball team. We mentioned coming off of those 3 tough losses, all on the road, all against really good Division II basketball teams, and they came out here tonight. They played with confidence really right from the opening tip and really have led this game, Dave, wire to wire. They've never trailed here tonight.
Well, yeah, they trailed just the one brief time, Mike. They went up 8-0 and then fell behind 9-8, if you remember. But after that, it's been all Dolphins. But even that, Mike, says a lot about the team. Very easy to kind of crawl into a shell at that point, get down. But they came right back, had a run after that, but very nearly wire to wire. You're 100% right. 43 seconds left. We have a quick whistle here as we'll have a foul.
Yeah, so another foul will be called on the Bears. That will result in some free throws here for the Dolphins. So everything's settled now but the final score. And, really a great all-around performance from the Dolphins here tonight.
Cartalis will go to the line. We're going to have a substitution as Brian Gomez is about to check into the game. He's going to replace Rigo Destine. See the line on Cartalis. He's got 10 points tonight.
Yeah, Rigo, another strong game, really playing with a lot of confidence on the offensive end. And, I think, Dave, that it was the Dolphin defense tonight holding the Bears to just 61 points and really just doing a great job swarming on the ball all night long.
Dolphins will improve to 1-3 with the win tonight. And for NYIT, they'll still look for some answers. They're 0-6 coming out of tonight as Ziris controls, and about a 6-second differential between game and shot. Dolphins will have to put one up here. Mick almost had it taken away by Utley, and that one goes out of bounds. Good to see Dejavon Utley continuing to play hard here in the last few seconds. That one put into the backcourt. Dolphins can touch it. It is Cartalis who retreats to get it. Now Mick controls. Mick over to Gomez, and he has that one intercepted. Here comes Dawson the other way, and he's able to thread that one in as clock never stopped, and we'll have 11 seconds on the clock.
So we'll just have a quick clock reset as the Dolphins will look to inbound the basketball and run out the final 10.
Well, the only thing in doubt now is the final score officially. NYIT will still employ some press here. Dolphins don't have to take a shot. Ziris will hold, and the Dolphins are going to win their first game of the season. 82-63 is our final score. The CSI Dolphins over the NYIT Bears.
And the first win against a Division II opponent, while the Dolphins are a Division II school. And what a great job for the Dolphins here tonight, coming out, leading almost wire to wire, bouncing back from an early 9-0 New York Tech run, never losing confidence, playing very well throughout the entire night, and although struggling a little bit at times, rebounding the basketball in the second half, did more than enough to come out and win here tonight, and really pulling away from the Bears, David, winning this one by 19.
So we will wait for Adeola Latunji to join us here on the air. The Dolphins in their first victory of the season, as Adeola will come and join us here.
I'm going to keep it low this
All right, Adeola, you hear me, right?
Yeah.
All right, let's get Adeola's volume raised here a little bit. So, Addy, you needed 8 coming into the game for 1,000. You end up with a career-high 33 points. How does it feel to be such a focal point of the team in your first victory as a D2 school against a fellow D2 school?
It's good. It feels good, we played top competition before this, so it's like this is the level we have to match and get used to because it's a new conference, So we learned from the first 3 games that we played, so just looking to grow from here on out.
What was the mentality of the team coming off 3 tough losses? What was the focus? What was the energy like? What was the game plan coming in for you guys?
We learn from our mistakes, compete. You have to definitely compete all the time and listen to coach and the game plan that we follow. We got to follow the game plan every day. We watch film. We look at what we did wrong, and we just got to get better from there.
Adeola, the team coming off of those 3 losses, as Dave mentioned, but yet you're able to come out here tonight and, one of the things we talked about all night long was the way the team was getting the hand on their basketball on the defensive end and on the rebounding side. Was that part of the plan for you guys here tonight?
Yeah, definitely. In practice, we had a great practice yesterday, and, Tibbs, he played with us. He sparked the fire in us. We weren't really playing hard enough. So him coming on the court, he just showing us it was good, real good.
And so, Addy, with a win like this, what does it do for the morale of the team? Going into now Saturday's game against another really good opponent. You guys play Stack, which is another future ECC team that you'll be playing very soon as well. What does a win like this do to galvanize the team and get you excited and pumped up for the future?
I mean, it's good to win for now, but, come tomorrow, it's over. We have to focus on the new game, and it doesn't mean anything anymore. We look to grow and play hard against every other team we come forward to.
And, Addy, final question for me. 1,000 points is always a big deal for, I know you're a team first player, but what is having an honor like that, especially only playing really a little over 2 years with the team? What does that mean to you to score your 1,000 points?
First, thank you to all my teammates that passed me the ball, everybody I played with since I got here. I wouldn't do it without them. And it's extra work. There's extra work in the gym, and thanks to my coaches putting me in the best position.
All right, well, Addy, it's a pleasure to watch you play, and we're going to enjoy the rest of the season watching. We hope to have you on in the future as well.
All right, thank you very much.
Congratulations on a great game.
Thank you.
All right, that is Adeola Latunji, and Mike, class act, a great player as well.
Yeah, you just listen to the way Adeola comes over, and the way that they conduct themselves, coming off a big win, not too high, not too low, coming off of the 3 tough losses, and they're going to turn the page and they're going to get ready for Saturday, and that's what really was so impressive about the Dolphins here tonight, coming in, being able to turn the page immediately, putting those tough losses behind them, coming out, and really playing a strong 40 minutes here tonight. And, even when Tech was able to come back and get the lead down to as low as 8, the Dolphins always able to come up with that big basket when they needed to score it.
Absolutely. So that'll do it for us. This is indeed final. The Staten Island Dolphins winning their first game of the season. They go to 1-3. New York Tech falling to 0-6 on the season. We mentioned what's coming up next for us on CSI Sportsnet. We will have a CSI basketball doubleheader right here live from the tank. That's this Saturday, the 23rd of November. The CSI women will tip off at 1 p.m. against Post University, a Division II side, and then it's the CSI men, approximate 3 p.m. start. 2 separate broadcasts, so be sure to tune in separately for those. The men slated to tip off approximately 3 p.m. So, Mike, great game here. Glad we got a chance to cover the first ever win for the CSI men's program as a Division II side. Want to thank everybody here behind the scenes who've made it possible across the way. Sam Flecker and Joe Foreman feeding us stats. Anita Lorenzo on camera duty, and Joe Masha to my left with all the sights and sounds in our engineering booth. Thank you to all of them. For Mike Babusky, I'm David Pizzuto, wishing you a very good night, and we'll see you Saturday live here from CSI Sportsnet. Once again, your final score, the CSI Dolphins 82 and the New York Tech Bears 63.